Hey, welcome to Bollox Talks and Tangents. It is 6:34 on Thursday, and that means it's time for Troy and Derek to load you up with laughing and learning.
Laughing and learning. 6:34. It's a right, ladies and gentlemen. You got to be here.
Yeah, so
particularly during the time of year. It's Lent. There's no excuse.
It's Lent.
It's Lent.
It's Lent. And we're talking about a lot of Lent.
We are going to talk about a lot of Lent.
Not what's in your belly button.
No, that's Lent. This is Lent.
Lent.
Yeah.
Lenten.
Yeah.
Lenten.
I may get
Am I saying it
traumatized.
right?
Lenten.
Lenten.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. You know, and you and I are known for giving up so much for Lent.
I got so good at giving stuff up.
Okay.
That I just gave up giving up stuff.
So I'm not Catholic, but I decided I was going to give up heroin for Lent.
Good for you.
Yeah. It's the 20th year in a row.
You're like a rock. You know that?
And I've never failed
Jesus.
at giving it up.
Congrats, Dad.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, son.
That is a wonderful father-son moment right there. The sacrifices you make.
That I make. You know. Do you give anything up?
I haven't touched meth in years.
Oh, they got that.
I mean, I got that.
Yeah, so you got that going.
Yeah.
So we both have given our sacrifices. How you doing so far?
Good.
Adequate.
Good.
It's almost been like 40 hours.
Almost. I'm okay though. I'm okay.
All right, but we got to do one thing. We got to say what our amazing sponsors are all about. And I'm going to start off tonight. We have a little bit of a contest, and Blake, you're going to have to keep an eye on the comments tonight. The Beacon Listening Room.
The Beacon Listening.
All right, they have an amazing artist performing tomorrow night after the Willie Nelson concert. They are after party. So it's $20 at the door, but they're giving away 4 tickets.
4 tickets. On
this show tonight.
Wow.
So we're going to do 2 sets of 2.
Okay.
On this show tonight. And they'll go to the people watching and commenting. Blake, how do you want to make this happen? You want to just see who wants to go? Or how do you want to make this happen?
So I'm gonna say the funniest comment or
the top 2 comments.
Yeah, I like that.
The top 2 comments are welcome to those tickets.
Yeah,
and I will get with you tomorrow and find a way to get those tickets.
So I'll personally say the best comment that comes from the Florida governor's story and the best comment that comes from the Lent celebration story.
I like that.
The Lent.
Yeah.
I don't know why Lent is stuck in my head.
I don't know. Yeah. Get stuck in your belly button.
Stuck in your belly button. Might as well stuck in your head. All right. So Maggie May after party after the Willie Nelson.
At the Beacon Listening Room.
At the Beacon Listening Room. And evidently some of the band is supposed to drift over to the Beacon Listening Room.
That'd be brilliant.
So, and we also have a video as well that
I think Maggie sent a video to the Beacon. We won't be able to hear it, so Blake, go ahead and hit play on that.
Stick it on there. Well, the Beacon Listening Room, I may have overindulged the Beacon Listening Room on Sunday night.
It's up there right there.
To come play a fun after party for Willie Nelson and Friends event at the Beacon Listening Room. So after the show, keep the party going and come hang out with me and my band. We'll play a bunch of tunes. Maybe some friends will join us. So we'll see you this Friday.
All right, and we're back. But Maggie Mace, that was her little promo saying she was going to be at the Beacon after the.
Very cool.
So exciting giveaway.
Yeah.
Exciting. I had a full day of Beacon and gypsy cabbing on Sunday.
Oh, there you go.
I watched a soccer game with Frank.
Okay.
In which our children triumphed by the score of 3-1.
3-1.
And then later that evening, I may have overindulged at the Beacon. I may have got value for my money.
Overserved?
Sure, that's what happened.
Yeah.
I was in there with way too many Irish people who were very, very thirsty. Yeah. Got away from us a little bit.
So did you charge a television tax while you were there?
I did not.
Oh.
I did not. Should have, but I didn't.
Should have. All right, we already talked about the Beacon Listening Room, Gypsy Cab, one of our amazing sponsors. Let's see what those comments play out, and we'll see. We'll announce. Blake, you are the judge and jury.
Judge and jury.
On that. City Gates Distillery and St. Augustine Distillery. I'm drinking today. I'm drinking just their bourbon.
Just their bourbon.
Just coming through with the bourbon.
They
Whiskey of the week,
bourbon.
St. Augustine, award-winning bourbon here. I remember when they had this idea, and one of the unique things is the bourbons here actually take less time in Florida than they do in Kentucky.
Why? Why is that?
They haven't really figured it out, but it's not even quite 3 years, and the bourbon is
and it's ready to go.
It's ready to go.
Does it have something to do with the humidity?
I think it has to be the humidity. So
anyway, they make great booze. The tours
are amazing.
Incredible. Yep. Go see it, guys. If you live here and you haven't done the tours, go see it.
Yeah.
900-degree pizza and pasta right over here on Lewis Speedway, right by the high school. The pizza pie is magnificent. Absolutely magnificent. But it's not just pizza, and it's not just the sauce, even though I do love the sauce. Yeah. The pastas are great. The people are uber friendly. Yeah. If you got anything going on over the high school, get your boat over to 900-degree pizza and pasta. It is incredible.
Yes. Abare, Kresge and Associates, just the best in town. They've kept me out of trouble. If you're looking for a CPA, if you do your own taxes, we talked about taxes last week. These guys know the ins and outs of all the taxes out there. Just go see them. They will save you money. You think, oh, it's going to cost me money. It's going to cost you money here, but it's going to save you money.
Save you money.
Threefold, fourfold in the long run.
The best.
They are the best. They are the best.
All right, Meehan's Irish Pub. We're coming into my favorite time of the year. Once you get February, this is St. Patrick's season anyway. Huge celebrations. The music down at Meehan's is amazing. 3 bars in one. You can be out the back, do a little bit of people watching, hang out with Hubble in the evenings. You can go upstairs to Johnny's Oyster Bar. Great food. Sit out and look at the bayfront. What a view. And then belly up to the bar for a late night.
I had dinner. I had dinner there Monday night. It was phenomenal. I did the shepherd's pie. Yeah. The chicken curry. Yeah.
I'm going tomorrow night. Taking the fam, taking the kids. Yeah. We're going.
It's just great grub.
Great grub.
All right. St. Augustine Pirate Museum. Wonderful people over there. They have over 800 artifacts, original artifacts. So happy Pat Croce brought this museum to us in St. Augustine.
Just a great addition. A great addition to the town.
It kind of locks down the bayfront there. Yeah. They do an amazing job. Captain Meehan, congratulations! He just won a nice award for hospitality.
He did, and what a suit he had on too.
Oh, it's
rocking it.
He crushes it with that.
He does.
All right, River and Fort, one of our new sponsors. If you haven't been there, it is amazing. I don't know of a better view in St. Augustine to have a drink.
I don't know of a better view. Period.
Yeah.
Find me a better view from the rooftop up there. Never mind the fact that the food is incredible.
Any restaurant in the country, this is as good as it gets.
Yes. It is bonkers how good it is.
Yeah.
You're looking at the fort. You're looking at the river. The food is incredible. Staff are wonderfully nice.
And they took
beautiful.
They took a building that's came in and out and fluxed in and out of being okay and not okay, and they turned it into something magnificent.
It is magnificent, yeah. It really is.
Also magnificent, you and I both love golf.
Love golf.
All right, Palm Valley Golf Club. It's a wonderful executive course they got there. Chris up there, him and his family. It's been in his family since the 80s.
Yeah.
And they just do a phenomenal job. They're virtual reality golf that you can do.
Yeah, you can play famous courses around the world on their virtual reality golf.
And you can do it in an hour.
Yeah. It's incredible. And you get fit as hell playing golf up there because there's no golf carts. You've got to walk the course.
Real.
This is old school proper golf.
It's the real game.
Yes, it is.
It's the real game. All right. Word origins. What you got this week?
I got a couple. So I started with the proof is in the pudding.
The proof is in the pudding.
The proof is in the pudding, right? We all know what it means. Like real success or real worth or the effectiveness of something can only be established, only be determined by putting it to the test, by trying it or using it, right? Mm. But what I realized when I fell down the rabbit hole looking at this is the expression is not the proof is in the pudding, it's the proof of the pudding is in the eating. That's the real expression.
Oh, so it kind of got switched around.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so the pudding they're talking about is not dessert either.
Ooh.
It's pudding as in black and white pudding, as in blood sausage pudding.
Oh.
Yeah. And it goes back to
different.
14th century, right? Pudding meant minced meat, cereal, spices, and blood to hold it together into a sausage casing, right? And you can still get them today, the full Irish or full English breakfast, where you have black or white pudding. But the reason why the proof of the pudding is in the eating, if the meat was bad, the meat was contaminated, it could be fatal. But there was only one way of finding out.
You got to try it.
You got to try it. Wow. To find out, you had to put it to the proof.
Oh.
Yeah. Isn't that great?
So it was all about eating bad meat.
Yeah.
And the proof is in the pudding.
The proof is in the proof of the pudding is in the eating.
All right. So both of mine this week are nautical.
Oh, nautical. I thought
nautical. Not naughty. Nautical. They're both about being on a boat and sailing.
Lovely.
Okay. Are you a person that likes to sail? Because the Irish is not known for their navy.
We're not known for our navy. No, we're an island, and we bugger all of a navy.
You're not
very good with that stuff.
Not known for your navy. All right, but I wanted to know, and mine too. I'll do my two, and then we'll go back to yours. I wanted to know what starboard side and port side, where they came from.
Okay.
Okay. I actually thought the starboard had something to do with the stars.
Makes sense. Boats, navigation, stars.
Not at all. Not at all. And it comes from, and as we're sitting here, and if this is the boat, okay, the starboard side's the right side of the boat as you're facing the front of the boat.
Fair enough.
All right. And it has to do with steering. So stir, it used to be S-T-O-E-R.
S-T-O-E-R, okay.
Okay. Is the side that the rudder was always on. It was always on the right side of early boats. So that's how that became the starboard side, the steering board side.
Okay,
of the
steering
boat.
Board side. Okay.
I always thought it had to do with stars.
So it's a steering board side.
Yes, yeah.
Holy shit.
All right, and the port side.
Okay.
You know, when you come into port,
it's on the left.
Well,
port side is.
It really doesn't have anything to do with the coming into a port.
No.
It actually comes from a Nordic word that means back.
Really?
When you're steering a boat, you have your back to the left because you're standing in the middle of the boat.
Yeah.
Steering's on the right side of the boat. You're steering the boat. Your back is to that side of the boat.
That's it.
That's what port means. I thought it had to do with I'm pulling into port.
Yeah.
And it has neither one of them meant what I thought they meant.
Can I add on to that?
Yeah.
The expression posh,
yes,
as far as I've heard, meant port out, starboard, home, which meant that the best cabins on luxury liners in the early 20th century, when you were going across the Atlantic from England, the best for whatever way the waves came in was the port side.
Okay.
And coming back was our starboard out, port home. Yeah, posh.
Yeah.
Port out, starboard home. That was it. P-O-S-H.
Port out,
starboard home.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm
Posh.
not entirely sure if that's true or not.
That's where posh came from.
Yeah.
Okay, makes sense. Makes sense.
So my second word origin, I never knew that.
Never. I mean, yeah.
Never. So I went with nightmare.
Okay.
Nightmare, right? We've all had nightmares, right?
Yeah.
So this goes back to it's a 12th century Germanic folklore thing, right? And M-A-R-E, mare, or mare in German or Old English, sort of Anglo-Saxon Old English, right? Is a goblin or a monster or an incubus. And a mare, it's nothing to do with a horse, right? It's a mare, it's an evil female spirit who sits on the sleeper's chest, suffocating them. But it also runs around on your chest. Not a horse, but something that runs around on your chest.
Not a horse, though.
Not a horse.
Okay.
Even though it's a nightmare, and it runs around on your chest.
So it gallops?
I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a goblin or a monster. But my favorite part of all this is you could prevent the mare, the goblin or monster, from getting on your chest and messing up your sleep by the following ways.
Get drunk as hell at Meehan's.
Yeah. If you got into bed backwards, you were fine. If you put some lump of steel into your bed, you'd be fine. Or if you place shoes in the room and pointed the toes at the door. That's how to prevent nightmares.
Shoes pointed at the door. I think I do that by accident sometimes when I just kick off my shoes.
Yeah.
You know, but that
Apparently
keeps you from having a nightmare.
Keeps you from having a nightmare.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay, it's good
so,
to know. I wish I'd have known that when I was younger.
Yeah.
Now I just drink a lot of whiskey.
Yeah. But wait. So another thing in order to help prevent a nightmare, sharing the live stream. You haven't done it yet.
Oh, I didn't share the live stream.
Boo.
I know. You know who's supposed to remind me of that?
I told you that we were
producer.
live on Facebook.
producer.
It's your job to do it.
Yeah, that's the producer's job. I feel like the person that lives rent free in my house
I think so. Yeah.
But you
is responsible for that.
If you get a producer credit, what do you have to do if you get a producer credit? You got to produce.
You got to produce.
You got to produce.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay, but
No, I got it. Blake, I got it.
But in my defense, you were making your whiskey cocktail. They think it.
But you didn't remind me.
Your father is the talent.
Yeah.
He can't be expected to remember
I can't do everything here.
I mean, he's
All right,
focused
I'm
on
sharing.
his whiskey.
I'm sharing.
We need some more commenters for the giveaway, Dad.
I got you. I'm doing it.
Bobby and Barbara are accused himself from participating.
Yeah, they don't go out at night because they're training for the 0.5K,
Which occurs on Saturday.
which occurs Saturday morning.
It is a 0.5K. Ladies and gentlemen, you're going to have to really... Carb loading,
Yeah,
I wouldn't do it.
yeah.
I wouldn't carb load.
No, you don't even need to.
I would.
That's the beauty of this one. You don't even have to. It's 0.5K.
I think you can... I think the correct and only way to do the 0.5K is hungover. And then, as you stop en route...
Well, because you're at Maggie May's after hours
That's
party.
right. As you stop on the several watering holes on St. George Street, you can recover
Yeah.
beautifully. That's what I would do. I'm not suggesting that everybody should do that. That's just what I will do.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I shared the right show, Blake. I'm not even sure if I shared the right show. You've disrupted
everything.
my whole thing of thought here.
We're all gone.
So, all right, two things we got to talk about. We got to talk about Florida governors.
And Lenten celebrations.
Lenten celebration.
Where do you want to start?
I think we start with Florida governors.
Let's do it.
All right, because we've already talked and pretty much said we're terrible Catholics if we were.
Okay. Where do you want to start?
I start at the beginning.
Start at the beginning. The first governor of Florida.
All right, there was
Florida territory.
It was a territory, and the first person that was assigned, and he was assigned by Monroe, and he was only here for just a little bit. He was here from March 10th to November 12th.
Of
when 1821, when the U.S. took over Florida.
Right.
All right, and that person was our seventh president. Yeah, it wasn't president yet, but he was our seventh president. He was assigned and appointed by James Monroe. He was the commissioner of the United States when they took possession of Florida.
And this was?
And that was Andrew Jackson.
Andrew Jackson.
Probably the biggest badass president we've ever had. I mean,
we've talked about it before. 100 duels, shot, climbed off out the ground, killed the other guy. May or may not have been a bigamist.
Yeah, may or may not have been. May or may not have been. And he was born in South Carolina in 1767. He became a national hero, defeating the British at the Battle of New Orleans in 1815.
Yeah.
That was his big battle.
His big battle.
All right. He was elected president 7 years later.
Yeah.
He lost the presidency when he ran for it in 24.
He lost to John Quincy Adams.
Yeah.
Skullduggery occurred there.
Some skullduggery did.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Do you guys want to look at the official painting for Jackson?
Oh yeah, he looks creepy. Yeah. He
was what, like
he's old here creepy.
5'7" and what, 120 pounds? Is that what I heard? 100?
Yeah, it was like 130 pounds. Yeah. So but here's the thing: his plantation was called the Hermitage in Nashville, there in Tennessee, and the Hermitage Hotel has the coolest bathroom I've ever been in my life.
Really?
Ever been in my life. So if you go to Nashville, go to the Hermitage. They make a really good mule there, and go to their bathroom. And it's such a nice bathroom. Ladies are allowed to go into the men's bathroom, and take a tour and take pictures in there.
Okay.
It's that nice.
It's that nice.
We're talking a nice shitter.
We should do world's most interesting bathrooms because I have an argument to make about that.
Yeah, I can tell you this. I know where the nicest bathroom in St. Augustine is. I'm not going to say. We're going to hold it.
Oh, okay.
We're going to hold it. We're going to hold
Let's
it.
do that because I have a couple of solid arguments. Well, so that's the first governor of Florida's territory.
Of the territory.
But the first governor of Florida, when Florida became the state, was a fellow called William Dunn Moseley.
Yes.
Very first in 1845.
Well, and technically, Andrew Jackson wasn't really considered a governor.
Right.
He was a commissioner that and he only visited Florida 3 times.
Right, and Florida wasn't officially a state.
No, it wasn't a state. So he wasn't really a governor.
Yeah.
But he was a commissioner. They did have territory governors, and I have one that came after him. But yeah, let's go to Moseley.
Yeah, so he was a couple of interesting things. He's obviously the first governor of I think we've had 45 here in Florida. He was from North Carolina originally. He was the roommate at UNC of James Polk.
Okay.
Who was president.
Yeah. And we have Polk County.
We do have Polk County. But during his reign, we built Fort Jefferson down at the Dry Tortugas.
Okay.
Right? You ever been down there?
No, I have not. I've been to Key West several times.
Cool.
I've been to Key West several times. I've never been to the Tortugas.
So Fort Jefferson, that's where Dr. Mudd was locked up.
It was a prison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they also built Fort Clinch in Amelia Island, just north of Fernandina Beach. I
have been there.
Yeah. So this is William Dunn Moseley, first official when Florida became a state, 1845. And back then they were only allowed the 1 term was the rule. Yeah. So,
and I didn't realize that. And when I was looking and going through the governors of, okay, here's who I want to talk about. Yeah. Here's who I want to do. I didn't realize it until I almost got to the end. Like, wow, these guys really couldn't keep a job.
Yeah. I thought the same thing.
Yeah. I was like, they really couldn't keep a job. All right. The governor I want to talk about is the county that's north of us. What's it called?
Duval.
All right. William Pope Duval.
Yeah.
All right. So William Pope Duval broke that rule. He was the territory governor from 1822 to 1834. 12 years. All right. Wow. He actually left home at the age of 14, and it was in Kentucky frontier, and he settled. He went to Bardstown Law School. Okay, I don't know where Bardstown is, but he became a lawyer. Even though he left at 14, he was assigned as a judge here when Jackson was in office.
Okay,
all right, he was assigned as a judge by James Monroe again.
Holy moly!
All right, and then he was appointed as governor by Monroe, and he was reappointed by Adams, John Quincy Adams, and Andrew Jackson, who those two were buddies because they were both here in St. Augustine. All right. Duval's administration is noted for peaceful relations with Florida's Indians and for establishing Tallahassee
as the state
capital.
Wow. Okay, that is cool.
Duval did move to Texas in 1848, where he died in 1854.
Wow.
So Duval is named that for our first territorial true governor, even though Andrew Jackson, they called him commissioner. They didn't really call him governor, but he was acting as governor. So that's where the name Duval comes from.
Yeah, and did you guys know that there was actually a second Duval County in Texas?
Oh, is it named after him too?
It's technically named after his son, but
okay, that makes sense.
Burr H. Duval.
He was a very powerful guy.
Mm-hmm. So the next one, I want to talk about a guy called John Milton. And for all you poetry lovers out there, not John Milton of Paradise Lost. This is John Milton, who was the governor of Florida during the Civil War, 1861, 1865. He was a big fan of the Confederacy. Mm-hmm. He turned Florida into a major food supplier during the Confederacy. Troy, do you know how he died?
I do. I do know how he died.
How did poor John Milton die?
He committed suicide.
He committed suicide on April the 1st, 1865. April Fool's Day, but the joke was on him.
Yes. And do you know what he said?
I'm not sure I have it word for word, but his final message to the state legislature was basically, death is preferable to
reunion.
To
being
reunion.
back a part of the Union.
Yeah.
So he literally shot himself.
Yeah.
Shot himself so that he did not have to go back to the Union.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So he's from...
And he was very proud that Florida did not lose its state capital. Every other capital got taken.
That's right.
Every other capital got taken during the Confederacy, or the reign of during the Civil War. But Florida, Tallahassee, did not get taken by the Union.
So a couple of things extra about it. So the town of Milton, which is out there in Santa Rosa County.
Yeah.
There's an argument that it's named after him, or other people say it was Milltown and changed to that. But he's from that little town of Mariana out there.
Yeah, that's where he actually killed himself. Was in Mariana, just outside of Tallahassee.
Yeah,
yeah.
But there's a cemetery out there in Mariana, and I've actually been to the cemetery. But there's something like 60 Miltons buried in this little cemetery, and his son was Jefferson Davis Milton. I think you can understand the why. Why his son was
loyalty.
Yeah. But he went out to Texas, and he was one of the first Texas Rangers, and he was one of the first border patrol officers, and served in Texas for 30 years. Legendary kind of a gunman lawmaker out in Texas. Jefferson Davis Milton.
Jefferson Davis Milton.
And
did Jefferson Davis run away with all the gold?
I don't know.
I think I heard that he kind of disappeared with all the Confederate gold.
Really?
Yeah.
Sure.
I think we might have to do a story about that.
I would like to.
All right, so it's a quick trivia question. So who was the next governor after John Milton?
I don't know, Blake. Who was it?
It was Abraham K. Allison. So he took over on April 1st after he died, but then he resigned on May 19th, 1865.
The same year?
Yeah. Yeah. But then immediately the seat just became vacant until July 13th, 1865.
Now I know that seems a short time to be governor.
Yeah, but that was like at the end of the Civil War.
Yeah.
So there was probably a lot of flip-flopping around.
So that was a month and a half.
Yeah.
Not the shortest reign by a Florida governor.
Yeah.
Oh, what's the shortest?
The shortest reign of a Florida governor was by a fella called William Mixon. Wayne Mixon. Sorry, Wayne Mixon.
Okay.
He was governor of Florida for 3 days. What? 3 days in 1987.
Yeah. I know McKay was, in my lifetime, one of the shortest ones.
Yeah, because Lawton Childs died, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Wayne Mixon was the governor for 3 days. He was the lieutenant governor to Bob Graham, who resigned in 1987.
Yeah. So he could be a senator.
So he could be a senator, yeah.
Senator again. He was a senator, governor, senator again. And he's coming up soon. Because I believe he was the first governor I voted for.
Bob, oh, really?
Yeah. So Bob Graham.
Bob Graham, okay.
We got to talk about Bob.
Let's talk about
Bobby.
Bob. We got to talk about Bob.
All right. To me, he's the guy that I grew up with in Florida politics. So he was a senator he was in the Florida Senate from 1970. He was a Florida Senate, not U.S. Senate.
Okay.
So he was Florida Senate from 1970 to 78. He was elected governor that year. So 79, all right. And he continued to be governor until then. He was reelected in 92 and 98 as a U.S. senator. So this guy was our senator for so long. And one thing I remember, he did this thing, and I remember it as a kid growing up. He did this thing like 100 work days. So you know the show Dirty Jobs?
Yeah.
Well, Bob Graham, or Senator Graham, would go out, and each day he would take a different job on his campaign. He was a lineman. He was a ditch digger.
Seriously?
He was doing all these things 100 days, and he did it pretty much every time he ran for office. And he went out and he did all these jobs. And I can tell you right now, that's the reason I love this guy. And he did a lot of stuff for the environment here in Florida. Save our Everglades, and he did a lot of save our coast and stuff like that. So he implemented a lot of things that probably pissed off a lot of Floridians, but it also might have saved our state.
Yeah, very good. So he was your guy.
He was my guy.
Now, I would have thought that Lawton Childs would have been your guy.
Walking Lawton.
Walking Lawton.
Kind of did the same thing, but Walking Lawton walked every county in the state of Florida.
Right, and you're the man who walked from St. Augustine to Washington, D.C.
No, I voted for Walking Lawton also, so not going to lie.
Yeah, I just love the story. Like, he walked all the way from Pensacola to Key West.
Yeah.
In the 1970 Senate campaign. 91 days walking around, and he did. He eventually walked in every county in Florida.
All 67 counties.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, really, really incredible.
Yeah.
Walking Lawton.
But he passed away in office.
He did, yeah.
And McKay took over, but what was the guy's name who only did 3 days?
Mixon did 3 days.
Mixon did 3 days.
Yeah.
And Buddy McKay was like 22 or 23 days, something like that.
Yeah, it was less than a month.
Yeah. So I'm actually reading Walking Lawton's Wikipedia right now, and apparently he had a heart attack while on a cycling machine in the governor's mansion.
And that's when McKay became governor.
Yeah.
All right. So who else you got?
Who else I got? So I got a couple more. Apparently, if you were, there's a lot of Jacksonville guys here, and then they give their names to bridges.
Yeah.
Right. So I want to talk about Hayden Burns first. The beautiful library in downtown Jacksonville called the Hayden Burns Library. So Hayden Burns was governor of Florida from 1965 to 1967. But he was the mayor of Jacksonville for a long, long time before that, 49 to 65. And probably did more for Jacksonville than anybody else. That's when we got what is now the Times Union Center built, which was the old Civic Center. We got the new City Hall, the new courthouse. That's when we got the Memorial Coliseum. That's when we got the baseball field. That's when we got the Jacksonville Suns franchise, the ice hockey franchise. That's when CSX moved from Wilmington to Jacksonville. This guy went on the road, went coast to coast, selling the story of Jacksonville. He took it to The Hague in the Netherlands. He took it to Jerusalem. He sold Jacksonville as the upcoming city of the South.
And what was the years of that?
So he was the mayor of Jacksonville from 49 to 65.
Okay.
16 years.
Wow.
Right? Now, at the same time, he was a segregationist. He was a terrifying racist. And he was the terrifying racist. He was the guy, he was the mayor of Jacksonville during Axe Handle.
Did he shoot himself
He did
to not go back into the Union?
But he was the mayor in Jacksonville during Axe Handle Saturday.
Oh, wow.
And, initially he tried to create the narrative that it was outsiders who were doing it.
Yeah.
But he even armed firefighters to go down and beat the shit out of people.
Not a good guy.
Not a good guy, but a great guy for the city of Jacksonville.
Recruiting business.
Yeah. And the Hayden Burns Library is a beautiful, the old library in downtown Jackson is gorgeous. Architecturally beautiful. But, kind of a terrible person.
Sounds horrible.
But great for the city.
Sounds horrible. All right, last one I want to talk about might be a familiar name to you. Napoleon Bonaparte.
Napoleon Bonaparte.
Broward. All right, so he was governor from 1905. From 1905 to like 1910.
Yeah.
And he was just an interesting guy. He lost both his parents when he was 12.
All right.
He was a steamboat captain.
Okay.
He grew up in Duval County.
Okay.
He was born on a farm in Duval County. Another Duval County. A lot of Duval County governors.
There's tons of them.
I didn't realize how many governors came from Duval County.
Yeah.
All right. But he tried to run for Senate, lost even when he was governor, and then he got the job 2 years later and died 3 days before he could take office as senator. All right. So he was the guy. He basically served pretty much. He was a war hero during the Spanish-American War. He served as sheriff of Duval County for multiple years.
He did.
Yeah, and this is the name Broward County.
That comes from him.
Is after Napoleon Bonaparte.
The real name of the Dames Point Bridge is the Napoleon Bonaparte Broward Bridge.
Yes.
Named after him. And there's a story that basically says that he's the guy that started the Spanish-American War. because of the stuff he was doing to annoy Spain. Yeah.
And I don't know if you heard last week I did a thing on Remember the Maine.
Yeah.
Okay, or the war chant.
The war chant, yep.
Of the Spanish-American War. Was
that 1898?
Yeah, 98. Yeah. So the USS Maine blew up in Havana, and it was supposed to be bombed by the Spanish.
Yeah.
Did you know they did a study in 1976, and it said it was an internal fire, and the Spanish had nothing to do with it. And we went to war over a mistake that the U.S. made.
Wow. That's great stuff right there.
Yeah. But you know what we got out of it? We got Guam, we got the Philippines, and we got Puerto Rico.
So, hey, good stuff.
Yeah. Thank goodness we started a war, so we have those.
There you go. So, you know, just to finish up, Fuller Warren Bridge, he was a governor.
Yeah.
Isaiah Hart's son, the Isaiah Hart Bridge.
The Hart Bridge, yeah.
Corey Hart, or Casey Hart, he was another governor.
Yeah.
There was tons of Duval County people.
I was amazed at how many people came out of Duval County.
I was too. I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't believe it.
I really was thinking that there would be more out of Miami than there were out of Duval County. And the ones it kept saying farmer from Duval, something from Duval, mayor of Duval, or mayor of Jacksonville. And there were so many that came from that area. I didn't realize we had that kind of representation. I totally thought it was more of a Miami situation.
I did too.
And it completely caught me off guard.
Yeah.
So.
Can I say one thing just briefly? Our current governor.
Yes.
His odd habit of wearing the white boots when he goes to disaster areas. Have you seen him?
I haven't noticed. Now I'm going to notice that.
Right? I'm not going to say anything else, but he walked down our street after one of the recent storms, and he was wearing knee-high.
Oh, he's wearing the mud boots?
White. Yeah, but they're white, and they're shiny clean, and they're knee-high. And then
Why doesn't he get green ones?
I don't know. Or black. But he's got the suit on, and he's got the pants tucked in to these white, shiny boots. And it's not a good look. Somebody should have a word. And I've seen him then on television and a couple of other things.
He's a baseball guy. He should know how to dress.
No. The white boots. Yeah, they got to go.
They look ugly.
They got to go.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. So I got one more story for you for Florida governors.
Yeah.
So obviously, you vote for Bob Martinez, correct?
I can't remember who he ran against. I don't think I voted for Martinez because he was a Republican.
Okay. So what?
I can tell you right now, I did not vote for him at that time as a Republican because that's like fresh out of college, and I was saving the world, and I was making no money, so it made no sense for me to vote as a Republican.
Okay. So what was the biggest thing?
Run DMC or I'm sorry, Two Live Crew. It was Two Live Crew. Yeah, the song. That it basically, we can't really play it right now.
Yeah, we can't play it.
That's where that label came from.
Yeah.
The censorship came because of Bob Martinez, and Two Live Crew had a song called Fuck Martinez.
Yeah.
Interesting story.
He was incredibly unpopular. He was the governor when I first came here.
I can tell you this.
Why do you think that song was made?
He lost by 12 or 13% in his re-election.
And his re-election. Look up who he ran against, because I'm pretty sure I voted for that person. I'm not sure who he ran against.
Well, was running Lawton. It was him.
It was Lawton. I guarantee I voted for Lawton Chilson.
You sure it was Lawton?
Yeah.
Yeah?
All right.
You sure?
But I can tell you this. When I was doing St. Johns County days, I was working at Parks and Recreation.
Yeah.
There's a bar right close to the Capitol there. And I'm probably, at this time, I'm probably 27, 28 years old. And I sit at the bar, and Bob Martinez comes and sits right next to me. He's a lobbyist at this time. He'd already been governor, and he's just sitting at the bar, and I don't recognize him. And he's like a Spanish guy, obviously, but I think he was also, in a tanning booth too.
Yeah.
And I look over. At this time, I think I'm drinking like Crown and Coke or something like that. And he ordered the exact same thing. I was like, Governor, you know what? I'll buy you a drink. So I bought Bob Martinez a drink.
Very nice.
That's the only time I ever met that man. I've met pretty much all of our governors since that time.
Yeah.
Just because of my position with Parks and Rec. And the weird part is, the one I personally liked the best as having a conversation with is a person I didn't vote for, and that's Charlie Crist.
Charlie. I had a conversation with Charlie once at a random meeting. Yeah, he was all right, Charlie.
Yeah, and all of them have been extremely personable. Going back to Jeb and even Rick Scott, who's I think he looks like Voldemort.
He does look like Voldemort.
But he was a super nice guy. Used to drive Mike nuts because he would invite me when he was coming into St. Augustine. He'd invite me to stuff, and Mike, who's like a staunch Republican,
wouldn't get invited.
Didn't get invited.
I love that stuff.
I was like, you could be my +1. He's like, shut up. And then Ron DeSantis had the office directly across the hall here.
Did he really?
Yeah. That's where his first House of Representatives office was, directly across from the hall from the studio. So
superb.
Yeah.
Ron, get rid of the white boots.
Yeah, get rid of the boots.
Get rid of the boots.
Get rid of the boots, man.
Come on, it's not a good
look.
Come
on. Somebody's got to beat Trump. Come on, man. We're counting on you. All right. You know what? We got to go through these sponsors again. Let's start down here and work our way up.
Palm Valley Golf Course, ladies and gentlemen. It has been around in the same family since the 1980s. They have the golf simulator. They have a walking course. It is beautiful out there.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And when me and Troy are going to play next, we'll call you all. Come join us.
Come join us. All right. River and Fort. River and Fort. Amazing food. Great bars. They have 3 bars. Counting the rooftop up there. They serve you up there. Just a wonderful job. These guys put so much money into our city.
Food is incredible. The food is incredible.
The food is great. Wonderful owners.
Hey, I'm delighted they're in the town.
They got something else coming along.
They do. We know.
Soon.
We can't tell you. St. Augustine Pirate Museum, my favorite museum here in the town. I love this place. I go there so many times. Every time I go, I learn something new. And they are wonderful supporters of every event, everything that happens in this town. Great addition.
Yeah. Some wonderful people. All right, Beacon Listening Room, if you're out there, make some comments. Tell us what you think about our first section. Blake, do you have a winner for the first group?
Yeah, so I'm going to have to say Heather Garris wins.
Heather wins the after party tickets.
Beautiful.
So, and we'll go straight to this sponsorship, because if you talk about those amazing pizzas from 900 Degree Pizza, Heather's the one who's making those pizzas.
Yes, she is.
So, Heather, thank you for that. We'll make sure you get your tickets if you want to go to the after party.
And the pizzas are amazing. I also want to talk about Meehan's Irish Pub, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be there tomorrow night with the family, and then I'll probably send them home, and I'll drink a lot of Guinness tomorrow night, because it's the best pint of Guinness this side of the damn Atlantic.
There you go.
And I keep testing that theory.
No, you have to go in and see if somebody can beat him, and then Meehan's is going to step up and pass him.
Every time.
That's how it's going to work. All right, Abare, Kresge and Associates, just the best in town. It's tax season right now.
These guys are busy right now.
You're looking at your stuff and it's confusing to you. Give these guys a call. Let them have a chance, and they can save you money. You won't regret it. They know more than you do about your taxes. So
Troy's not locked up.
Yeah.
That's
I can tell you
only thing
right
you
now,
need to know.
I probably have the most confusing tax return of anybody I know.
Yeah.
I don't know how many businesses I have. Blake, you do have any idea?
You have a lot of businesses.
How many?
12.
More than one.
I think I'm under 10, but I might not be.
Right.
That's kind of sad, right? But you know who knows?
Abare, Kresge and Associates.
They know exactly where it's at. All right. City Gates Distillery and St. Augustine Distillery. I'm drinking it tonight. The bourbon from St. Augustine Distillery is award-winning. They have an amazing tour over there. They do the tasting. Yeah. City Gates, they have just a unique taste on different liquors. They add flavors that you just can't even imagine going together.
And if you haven't tried the peanut butter whiskey, I stand by that damn thing.
That peanut butter whiskey is legit.
It is legit.
Legit. Too legit to quit. All right. You know what time it is? It's time to talk about celebrations.
Lent celebrations.
Yes, Lent celebrations.
For those of you who do not know, Lent began yesterday with Ash Wednesday. Troy, do you know?
It's a pain in the ash.
It is a pain in the ash. Yeah. Do you know where they get the ashes from for Ash Wednesday? So the Catholics, you go and they put the ashes, they put the sign of the cross on you with the ashes. Do you know where the ashes come from?
I'm assuming from the Vatican. No.
So
they ship them over.
The ashes
Yeah, cook.
Yeah, dead popes. I fucking love that.
That Pope Society.
No, the ashes come from the palm leaves and palm fronds and palm branches from the previous year's Palm Sunday celebration. And they burn them, hold them for the year, and then that's what they use as the ashes.
So you got funky palm frond on your forehead.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
It's weird. It is weird.
And I can tell you this, don't do this either. If you have Catholic friends, they don't think it's funny if you go and wipe it off. They don't find
that.
They don't find humor in it, and they just don't find it funny.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
It is weird.
You know, I'm
Yeah.
But we'll say that, we'll say that, one thing, so every time that same person celebrate Ash Wednesday with the cross on the head, it's always like perfect lines, like perfect spacing, shouldn't be like a longer line.
I think it's like all mushed up. I mean,
Yeah.
my friends might not be as neat as your friends, but every time I see my friends, it's all mushed up.
Okay.
Well,
So
I guess it depends which priest you get,
it does.
how OCD the priest is.
So one of the great conundrums of my life.
Yes.
Right? Obviously Lent, Ash Wednesday too.
Did you go to a
Easter
Catholic
Sunday.
school?
Every school in Ireland was a Catholic school. There was no such thing as any other school.
Well,
We didn't call it Catholic school. It was school. It was all Catholic.
it was all Catholic.
All Catholic. Every school was Catholic. Except for, there might have
Who
been
created the Irish car bomb?
Catholics.
Okay. All right. Just want to make sure.
So, Lent is this whole 40-day thing, right? Sort of symbolic of Christ's journey in the desert, the 40 days and 40 nights, right? The biggest problem for Irish people is that Lent always falls, and St. Patrick's Day is always in the middle of it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? Because of the way Easter Sunday is calculated from the old pagan calendar thing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
First Sunday after the first full moon, after the spring equinox. So the problem for us is that most of the time St. Patrick's Day is bang in the middle of Lent.
Lent.
And that's a real problem for us.
Is it never not?
It's never not.
Okay.
So, the problem is, obviously, then on St. Patrick's Day, Irish people like to...
Partake.
We do like to partake. We like to get... How do I put it delicately? We like to get shit-faced.
It's a strong communion.
It is a strong communion. Yes, it is.
Strong communion, I think, is the way to put it.
And the St. Patrick's Day celebration is known as the Irish loophole. The Irish loophole.
Got it.
And there's some great stories to it, but basically, the Catholic Church...
Good thing I didn't give up alcohol for Lent.
You'd be screwed.
Yeah.
But the Catholic Church, so a lot of people do give up alcohol for Lent because of the fasting and abstinence and all that stuff. But the Catholic Church actually gives
Wait. What did you say?
dispensations.
People give up abstinence. What does that mean?
I've heard about it. I've never practiced it or tried it, but it's supposed to work.
Yeah.
Apparently, if you tell it to high school kids, they won't have sex.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a great system.
Oh.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay.
So let me ask you then, do you know how to pronounce Lent in Irish?
Disappointment.
Sad. S-A-D. Sad.
But so Irish Catholic diocese will give a special dispensation so that you can drink on St. Patrick's Day. Dispensation. You have
I can't say that
you are
word.
freed from your duties, your Lenten duties, right? But here's what's funny about it, right? So obviously we get pissed on St. Paddy's Day. If you were with me last St. Paddy's Day at Meehan's, I was there when it opened and almost got to the closing day. I was with my two brothers. We had a right good time. But did you know that pubs in Ireland didn't open on St. Patrick's Day until 1973? Because it was in the middle of Lent and St. Paddy's Day was a religious holiday and pubs were supposed to be closed. And they opened them in 1973 and the pubs sold more booze on St. Patrick's Day in 1973
than any other time.
Right, and people went, do you know what? We're not fucking closing ever again.
This is good money.
Yeah. But the church allows a dispensation to Irish Catholics so that you can party on St. Paddy's Day.
All right.
That's good enough for me.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So I wanted to go and find out something different because we all know about Carnival and Brazil and we know about Mardi Gras and stuff like that. So I wanted to see what other countries did. All right. Facing Germany.
Okay.
Okay. The 6-day Fasching Festival takes place all over southern Germany and is a joyous affair. Each village or district has its own unique costume and a variety of astounding spiders and witches, animals, and jesters.
Spiders, witches, animals, and jesters.
The high point comes on Monday before Ash Wednesday, so not Fat Tuesday. It's on Monday,
Right.
when a rowdy pageant of fools is followed by a all-night carnival ball. So it starts
On the Monday.
and they party all night long in this 6-day celebration before they get to Lent.
That's incredible.
It's called the Fasching in southern Germany.
Right.
Never heard of it.
So I haven't heard of it either. So the tradition I grew up with on Mardi Gras in Ireland. Mardi Gras in Ireland and England is known as Shrove Tuesday.
Shrove,
or
yeah.
Pancake Tuesday.
Yep.
And that was the one day of the year that we would get fucking pancakes in Ireland. Right? And I never understood why.
You didn't get pancakes in Ireland?
The only day of the year.
I see why you live here.
Right?
Yeah.
So I never understood why. Right? And eggs were prohibited by the Catholic Church during Lent.
What?
Eggs and dairy was prohibited.
Wait.
You were not allowed
no
to have
milk.
eggs or dairy during Lent.
So you couldn't have cheese?
Couldn't have cheese. Couldn't have anything. Seriously.
Yeah.
And so,
There's no way I could live there.
and so, Pancake Tuesday came about because people had to get rid of all of their excess milk and eggs before Lent started.
Because it was going to go bad.
It was going to go bad. And so that's how the tradition became in England and Ireland, Pancake Tuesday, to get rid of all the stuff. And here's where it gets even crazier, right? It gets even fucking crazier. In Germany, there was then dispensations in Germany to allow German Catholics, if you worked on churches, to consume dairy and eggs during Lent. And a lot of the great cathedrals in Europe have towers or steeples that are known as the butter steeples or the butter tower because they were built
People would work.
by Catholics during Lent.
They would work so they could eat.
So they could eat dairy. But the work had
Loophole.
to be loophole. The work had to be done on churches.
Yeah.
Yeah. What an absolutely insane thing.
All right. Ecuador.
Give me something on Ecuador.
Fiesta de las Flores. Las Frutas. All right. All right. It is
Festival of the fruit?
yes.
All
Of
right.
flowers and fruit.
Flowers and fruit.
All right.
Aw.
So its backdrop is the snow cap of the Andes.
Okay, hold on. Let me just
Okay,
vision this.
Make it snow cap of the Andes.
Okay, I'm there.
Don't think of the movie Alive. Ambato's Festival of Flowers and Fruits pays homage to the agriculture bounty of the region with flamboyant costumes, elaborate floats,
Aw.
fireworks, and lots of peach-flavored wine.
Peach? Okay.
On the Saturday before Lent, Mass is held outside Ambato's whitewashed cathedral as you're looking at the Andes, drinking and getting drunk as hell
On peach-flavored
on
wine.
peach-flavored wine.
Obviously. Like, what else would you be doing?
I'm going to Ecuador.
So I came across another one of those lovely, crazy ones from Bulgaria.
Whoa.
Bulgaria. And so the Bulgarians, this idea again of this fasting and prayer and abstinence shit. But it ends on the Saturday before Easter. So about 8 days before Easter Sunday. And they have a festival called Lazaruvan. Lazaruvan.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically for young girls as their debut. They're coming out. And it starts at their houses and they're big into decorating gates. I don't know what.
Gates.
Gates. And they decorate the gates with willow sticks. Willow sticks because willow is a symbol of fertility. And apparently you want to make your gate as fertile as possible. I don't know. Anyway, then they sing through the town and sing through the village. But if you are a young woman and you refuse to take part in the Lazaruvan festival and shenanigans in Bulgaria, then you're never going to find a husband. You'll never get married. So there you go.
You got to have the willow.
Yeah.
All right. Here's one that I found very interesting.
All right.
All right. And they used it as an excuse for sex.
No.
in debauchery.
I can't believe that. For one moment.
Carnival. Carnival. I don't know what Blake just did. In Venice, Italy. An event that is inspired by many around the world. The flamboyant Venetian Carnival originated in the 13th century to reach a decadent peak during the Renaissance. Although rooted in Catholicism, the Carnival has always been an extravaganza and an excuse for Venetians to act out their fantasies.
It's apparently one of the great celebrations in the world.
Yeah.
It still goes on today.
And as long as you're wearing the disguise, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. You can.
All's forgiven.
Yeah. You
crazy.
It's a dispensation to cheat on your spouse.
Yes.
And you're allowed to do it as long as you've got a mask on.
You have a mask on. As long as you have a mask on.
Yeah. And you're also never supposed to ask the name of the person
you cannot ask the name.
Yes.
You can't ask the name of the person you're cheating with.
Yeah. Because
it's like the ultimate get out of jail free card.
I'd love to be sitting around in the bar when the guys devise this. Hear me out now, Jimmy. Here's the plan.
Here's what 13th century.
Okay, so my favorite. So when I was a kid, going to mass every morning during Lent was something that our parents wanted us to go. And one of my buddies got me to go probably my junior year in high school.
Okay.
And he wanted to go because his girlfriend was going.
Yeah.
And I decided to go because his girlfriend's friend was fine as all get out.
Frog's hair.
Absolutely beautiful.
Fine as frog's hair.
Fine as frog's hair.
Right.
And we went all 40 days and et cetera, et cetera. Of course, got absolutely nowhere, right?
Yeah, yeah.
2011, I'm drinking in an Irish bar in New York. And the crush that I have from 1985 walks past me.
Yeah, the girl that's fine as frog's hair.
And she's still absolutely stone cold fucking gorgeous.
Yeah.
So I'm drinking with another buddy of mine from Mullingar, and we call her back. She said we have this lovely, long, debauched evening, right? We haven't seen each other in 20-something years. But she's talking about, when she was back then, she was talking about how she was such a pious little... I was a pious little fucker. I was borderline unbearable. And she goes, and as I'm at mass, all I'm thinking about is how fine an ass your mate has. And basically she's lusting after her best friend's boyfriend, who was my mate at the time.
Oh.
And so she's there for prayers and ass appreciation. And
you're juniors in high school.
Juniors in high school.
You're juniors in high school. Should have went to Venice.
That's my... See?
You should have went to Venice. Put on a mask. Put on a mask and go to Venice.
Yeah. See, Lent
but I guess that still happens today.
Venice.
Venice.
Yeah. Have you been to Mardi Gras?
I have not. I've only been to New Orleans a couple of times. No, that's not a place I could go.
You always keep saying that you want to go, but you're just waiting for someone else to go with.
Yeah, no.
I did Mardi Gras twice in the late 90s.
Yeah. The only time I was in New Orleans was in the late 90s. It was before Katrina. And to me...
Oh, you didn't like it, yeah.
I didn't like it at all. It's on one of my worst cities.
That's right, I remember that.
So, but I probably need to give Mardi Gras a chance.
You really do.
Yeah.
Debauchery.
Yeah.
Wonderful, glorious debauchery.
Yeah. And I'm completely okay with that.
I figured you would be.
Yeah, I'm completely okay with that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, anybody who knows me knows that.
That you were good at.
You know what? That's actually the end of our show. Blake,
who won the second
round?
Unfortunately, not a whole lot of comments compared to the first one. So,
well, we might hold it for the morning show then.
Yeah, dude. So definitely hold it for the morning show.
We might hold that one for the morning show. We'll give out those two for the morning show.
I like that.
So, but Heather was the winner on the first one. I'll make sure she knows that, and her name will be at the door for the Maggie May.
And I definitely want to talk about world's greatest toilets.
World's greatest toilets.
Or greatest bathrooms experiences.
I actually asked a question, and we might have... I want to have time for this answer. The question of the day is the worst place you ever went to the bathroom. Worst toilet you ever used. Mine was on the Appalachian Trail.
Yeah.
Like in Georgia, they take care of their privies. So a privy is like... it's an outhouse that's kind of built up. It's kind of a fancy outhouse that's built up. In North Carolina, they don't. and this privy had been there for a long time, and no one had buried what was there, it looks like, for decades.
Ooh.
There were flies so big. No, I couldn't use it. I went around the corner, dug my hole, held onto the branch. So, but that was by far the worst I'd ever seen.
I like to think about it because I've been in some.
All right, we'll wait until we do that.
Places.
We'll wait until we do that one.
All right.
We'll do worst and best toilets of the entire.
Right. Hit the share button, everybody. This is our show.
Yep. Tell
everybody. Go to the sponsors. Get your arses downtown and spend money with these people because they make this happen. And so much of the reason why.
Bollox Talks and Tangents. Tell your people about it. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you laughed and learned a little bit. And we'll be back next week.
See you then.
The Irish are bad at rugby.